Cantiro is a fully integrated real estate development company. We have developments in Alberta, Ontario, and BC. We have about $500 million in assets under management and about $250 million in revenues annual. We hired an IT business analyst to come in and really put a focus on a bit of an IT development and change and looking through our company and all the processes. And so we put together a roadmap to be able to really look at how we can utilize technology better in our business. One of the big steps as part of that roadmap was for us to integrate all of our systems into a fully developed ERP. And so we did an investigation into that and landed on Sage Intacct. We integrated Sage Intacct into our ERP. And it's been quite successful for our business and has really helped us to start to access our data in very different ways. We were on Sage 300. It wasn't exactly the most easy to manipulate. And so if we wanted new reporting or additional reporting, there was a significant amount of consulting time that we ended up having to pay for all the time. It was basically segmented data for each of our companies. And so we needed a separate data file for each of those entities. So you're talking about maintaining multiple vendor lists, multiple customer lists, multiple everything. And so for us to be able to put that all into one place just made it easier for us. With the nature of Sage 300, we weren't able to access our data anywhere. We had to make sure that we had a kind of hard jack connection into our server. For us to be able to access our data now remotely through the cloud has also been significant improvement. So all of our operations for our home building side operate through Homefront. Homefront was connected to Sage Intacct as well as part of that ERP solution. It's just been a significant time savings overall for not just our team, but also for our executive now. So we looked at SAP and Microsoft Dynamics as part of our investigation process. And the other two just seemed a little bit too big for what we were trying to do, and some of the cost of it as well, we just couldn't justify. There were some limitations of our existing technologies and being able to integrate with Intacct. And then there were also some process changes that we had to make as a company to be able to align better with the technology and the things it was going to be able to do for us. So we ended up deciding on Intacct. It had all the functionality that we were looking for and the cost made sense to us. We were doing some things that were very specific that we needed. So we did some work on tailoring the Intacct piece to our processes on some sides. So being able to create dashboards in the system and be able to provide live data for not only our team, but for our executive to go in and review has been a significant time savings as well. There isn't the, hey, we made this change and having to change that information before we produce the report. Our team has now really stepped up our game with respect to that. So there were two things that we had to buy that were a separate module from Intacct as we went through the implementation. One was being able to process invoices. So we had to go through a different system, I guess I would say. And then the other one is the EFT functionality within the system. So we also had to buy a separate add-in feature software as part of the process to be able to process our EFTs. And I think some of that had to do with the Canada-US difference. When we're able to do the statistical journal entries to be able to track, inventory month to month now, we have a count of it and we're able to do that. It's eliminated the burden elsewhere in our system. Basically, every invoice is attached in the system to our, the entries. And then even when we're doing, journal entries for month-end close or bank recs or anything like that, I just wanted to reiterate how great Intacct's been for us and how great Ethos has been as part of the process, how detailed they have been and how they've walked alongside us, as opposed to a lot of consultants will take the bare minimum approach where they'll say, hey, yeah, we'll implement the system for you, but then you're on your own figuring out all the processes and all the solutions. That's something that we really appreciated. So we wanted to thank you guys for your help and everything that we did with respect to it.